Chosen one, pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and quiet the storm in your heart. This is a sacred invitation, a divine pause orchestrated specifically for you. There is no need to panic or rush forward. The moment you find yourself in is not one of random chance or coincidence, but one carefully planned by God Himself. His timing is perfect, and He calls you to stillness now, so that your heart can fully absorb the truth of what is unfolding. You may be feeling the weight of current struggles, as though a door has slammed shut on your hopes and dreams. The confusion and uncertainty you feel may be unsettling, and the pause in your life may leave you questioning your next steps. It is easy to think that this is a sign of failure or a missed opportunity. However, let me reassure you, this moment is not the end. God has not abandoned you. In fact, He has intervened at just the right time, pulling you out of a situation that would have led you down a dangerous path. What you perceive as a setback is actually divine protection. God's hand is on your life, keeping you safe and redirecting your steps towards something far greater. Trust in His plan, for it is perfect. Chosen one, in this moment, you are being called to understand a deeper truth. The pause you are experiencing is not a random interruption, but a divine intervention. God, in His infinite wisdom, saw what was ahead for you. He saw the traps the enemy had set to derail your destiny. The door that slammed shut wasn't just a missed opportunity. It was God closing the path to something that could have led you astray. When everything in your life came to a halt, it wasn't a sign of failure. It was a deliberate act of divine intervention designed to protect you. God didn't just close a door. He stopped everything in your life to realign you with the greater purpose He has planned for you. In His timing, the stillness you feel is actually preparing you for something far more significant. The enemy, aware of your purpose, does not always try to stop you directly. Instead, he works to accelerate you in the wrong direction, pushing you toward opportunities that seem promising, but are actually spiritual traps. His strategy is not to prevent you from moving forward, but to misdirect you, leading you into situations where your spiritual energy will be drained. The enemy wanted to push you into toxic relationships, destructive environments, or opportunities that would steal your peace and purpose. The door that was closed was meant to prevent you from stepping into something that could have caused irreparable damage to your soul. As the Bible says in 1 Peter 5:8, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." The enemy's strategy was to devour your energy, your peace, and ultimately your divine calling. But God, in His grace, stepped in. Heaven's response to the enemy's plan was swift and powerful. God, in His love, pulled the emergency brakes, forcing what you might have seen as a setback into a divine lockdown. This was not a punishment, but a protective measure. God knew that in order for you to fulfill your calling, He needed to protect you from forces that would distract, distort, or derail your spiritual growth. At this moment, God's love for you is being manifested in a way that is shielding you from what was not meant for your destiny. The universe itself aligned in such a way that you were redirected, and the enemy's plan was thwarted. Psalm 91:11-12 speaks of this divine protection. "For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." You may be wondering why the process feels slow or painful, but this pause is a vital part of your spiritual preparation. While you may feel that things are at a standstill, understand that heaven is not idle. God is moving behind the scenes, orchestrating the next phase of your journey. Each moment of stillness, each delay, is a moment of deep, divine work. The pause is preparing you spiritually, emotionally, and mentally for what is about to come. Just as God protected Joseph by allowing him to go through hardship, He is allowing you to be prepared in similar ways. The pain, the waiting, the confusion, all of these are shaping you into the person you need to be to fulfill your calling. Through this divine intervention, God is also teaching you the art of discernment. The enemy wanted you to rush into situations, not recognizing the hidden dangers. But God is giving you the wisdom to know when to step forward and when to stay still. He is teaching you to trust in His perfect timing and to rest in His protection. In moments of stillness, God is aligning your heart and mind with His perfect will. As Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." What seems like a delay to you is actually God positioning you for the best outcome, even when you cannot see the full picture. As the chosen one, you are called to trust in this divine intervention. The world may encourage you to force doors open or push through obstacles with your own strength, but God is showing you a different path, a path of trust, stillness, and divine surrender. When the time is right, the doors will open, not because of your striving, but because of God's divine will for your life. Romans 8:28 assures us that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Every moment of stillness, every moment of apparent delay is working toward your good. This pause is also an invitation to surrender. In this season, God is teaching you that sometimes the most powerful action you can take is to do nothing. Surrendering to God's will is not a passive act, but one of great strength. The strength to wait, to trust, and to listen. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." This is not a command to be passive or inactive, but a call to rest in God's sovereignty and trust that He is working all things for your good. God is not only protecting you, but also preparing you for the next chapter of your life. You may not understand why the doors are closed right now, but trust that God's plan is far greater than anything you could imagine. What you perceive as a delay or setback is actually God's mercy keeping you from harm and setting you up for divine breakthroughs. He is preparing your heart for what He has planned, and when the time is right, the breakthroughs will be more significant than you ever expected. As you continue in this season of waiting, remember that God is in control, and He is actively working on your behalf. Trust in His timing, His protection, and His plan. You are being prepared for something great, and the moment will come when the doors open wide, and the purpose for which you were created will begin to unfold in a way that only God could have orchestrated. Chosen one, in this moment of silence, it may feel as though God is distant, as though your cries for guidance have gone unheard. You might be standing in the stillness, wondering why the heavens seem closed, why your prayers seem to be met with silence. But let this moment serve as a reminder that God's silence is not abandonment, nor is it a sign of neglect. On the contrary, it is a form of divine protection, a call to trust in His perfect timing and plan. God is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. As difficult as it may seem, this silence is an intentional part of your growth, a preparation for the destiny that lies ahead. The feeling of being unheard is not the absence of God, but rather a call to stand still and allow His divine plan to unfold. The silence you are experiencing is not because God is ignoring you, but because He is preparing you for something far greater. In Psalm 46:10, God commands, "Be still and know that I am God." The word still in Hebrew, Rapha, means to cease, to drop your weapons, to surrender your efforts, and to trust that God will fight on your behalf. This silence is God asking you to release control, to let go of your own attempts to fix things, and to allow Him to step into the situation and handle the battle. Just as God called the Israelites to stand still at the Red Sea when the enemy was closing in and escape seemed impossible, He commanded them to be still so He could show His glory. Similarly, in your moment of silence, God is positioning you for a victory you cannot achieve on your own. and this requires complete surrender. In this season of silence, God is not leaving you in a void, but training you for something even more significant. Silence is a crucial part of spiritual maturity. It is in the stillness that God refines your heart, tests your faith, and strengthens your dependence on Him. When you are in a season of quiet, it may feel like God is distant, but it is during these moments that He is molding you into the person He has called you to be. As it is written in James 1:3-4, the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. This season of silence is not without purpose. It is the work of God to prepare you for the greater responsibilities that will come with your calling. The challenges you face in this quiet season are not signs of God's abandonment, but rather part of a larger spiritual process. The silence you experience is God's invitation for you to trust Him in ways you never have before. As you release your grip on your own plans, God will show you a deeper, more intimate relationship with Him. You are learning to hear His voice more clearly when the world is quiet, to recognize His guidance when there is no distraction. The trials and the waiting are refining your faith, teaching you to lean not on your own understanding, but to acknowledge God in all things, as Proverbs 3:5-6 encourages. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. There will come a time when the silence will end, and you will look back at this season and realize that it was not a time of abandonment, but a time of deep preparation. Just as a potter shapes clay with both gentle hands and firm pressure, God is using this silence to mold you into the vessel He has designed for His glory. You may not see the full picture right now, but trust that God is using this season to make you into a stronger, wiser, and more faithful servant. As Isaiah 64:8 says, "Yet you, Lord, are our Father. We are the clay, you are the potter. We are all the work of your hand." This silence is also an opportunity for you to learn to wait patiently. In our fast-paced world, waiting can feel like a waste of time. However, in God's kingdom, waiting is an active process that prepares us for His purpose. In Psalm 27:14, the psalmist writes, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord." Waiting is not passive. It is a time to strengthen your inner man, to build perseverance, and to refine your trust in God's timing. You are being equipped during this period to step into the next season of your life with a heart full of faith and a spirit ready to act. The silence also provides an opportunity for you to grow in spiritual discernment. In the quiet, you are learning to hear God's voice more clearly, discerning His will for your life. This is a season where your dependence on Him grows stronger, where you learn to recognize the subtle movements of the Holy Spirit. Isaiah 30:21 says, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" In moments of silence, God is guiding you step by step, even when you cannot see the full road ahead. He is preparing you to walk in alignment with His perfect will, and as you wait, you become more attuned to His presence. In times of silence, it is easy to question if God has forgotten you, but He is actively working behind the scenes. His work in you is far greater than what you see in the natural. This season is not a delay. It is a divine pause to allow your faith to grow, your heart to heal, and your soul to be aligned with His purpose. When you feel like God is silent, know that He is actually setting the stage for your greatest breakthroughs. Just as Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness before beginning His ministry, He too was prepared in the silence. This time of stillness will bear fruit in ways you cannot yet imagine. God's silence is a sign of His trust in you. He is allowing you to grow in His presence, teaching you that He is enough. He is preparing you to step into a new season, where your faith will be unshakable, your trust in His timing will be resolute, and your purpose will be fulfilled. So, in the silence, continue to wait, continue to trust, and continue to grow. When the time is right, God will reveal the next step in your journey, and you will see that every moment of stillness was part of His perfect plan. Chosen one, in this season of transition, it is essential to understand the nature of the circumstances surrounding you. Are you experiencing a divine lockdown, where God is leading you into a period of stillness and spiritual alignment? Or is this the result of the enemy's attempts to hinder your progress? The speaker provides a 3-step diagnostic tool to help you discern the truth of the situation, enabling you to understand whether this is divine intervention or an attack from the enemy. The first step in understanding your current season is to examine the speed of change that has occurred. If the change was sudden and intense, it is likely that it is divine intervention. In moments of divine redirection, there are often swift, unexpected shifts that force you to change course. Just as God parted the Red Sea for the Israelites in an instant, when a door slams shut suddenly, or when your life shifts rapidly, it can be a clear sign that God is working behind the scenes. Proverbs 16:9 states, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps," reminding you that even in moments of disruption, God is at work to establish your path. On the other hand, if the changes in your life have come slowly, draining your energy over time, it could be the work of the enemy. The enemy often operates in a way that wears you down, making you feel fatigued and confused. These slow-moving obstacles are designed to make you question your purpose, causing frustration and confusion. Even in such times, you can take comfort in knowing that God has the final say, and He will make a way for you when the time is right. The second diagnostic step involves examining the atmosphere of silence that surrounds you. The silence you may feel from God is not an absence of His presence. Rather, it is the space where He is preparing you for something greater. When God is silent, it does not mean He is absent. Rather, He is working in ways that are unseen, building your trust and faith. Just as Elijah found God in the gentle whisper, 1 Kings 19:12, you too are being prepared in the quietness of God's presence. Psalm 46:10 encourages you to be still and know that I am God, reminding you that silence is not emptiness, but a sacred moment of connection and preparation. If the silence feels heavy with God's presence, then it is likely a season of divine protection and growth. This time of stillness is where God aligns your spirit with His will, strengthening you for the tasks ahead. However, if the silence feels uncomfortable and you find yourself questioning your worth or direction, it may be a sign that the enemy is trying to create confusion and doubt in your heart. In such moments, hold fast to God's promises, knowing that He will reveal the truth at the right time. The third diagnostic point is to evaluate your human efforts and the limitations you are facing. If you have tried everything in your power to fix or change the situation and nothing seems to work, it is a sign that God is placing a divine lockdown in your life. Just as the Apostle Paul experienced when he was hindered from preaching in certain regions, 2 Corinthians 12:9, sometimes God closes doors to protect you from paths that would lead you away from His will. It is not a punishment, but a redirection, helping you to rely solely on His wisdom and provision. This divine lockdown is an invitation to surrender control and trust in God's plan. As you release your own efforts and submit to His timing, you will begin to see how God is preparing you for the next step. It may feel uncomfortable to surrender, but remember, as Isaiah 55:9 says, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's ways are far beyond our understanding, and in the silence and stillness, He is aligning everything for your good. In the midst of this season of divine intervention, it is essential to trust that God is always in control. No matter what seems to be happening around you, God is using this time to refine you, to strengthen you, and to position you for the future. Whether the changes are sudden or slow, whether the silence feels heavy or light, you can be assured that God is working on your behalf. As you reflect on these 3 diagnostic points, examining the speed of change, the atmosphere of silence, and the limitations of your efforts, consider where you find yourself today. If you are in a season of divine redirection, trust that God is preparing you for a greater purpose. If the silence feels heavy with His presence, rest assured that He is drawing you closer to His heart and preparing you for the work ahead. And if you are facing limitations in your own strength, know that God is calling you to rely on Him completely. Ultimately, no matter the circumstances, you can be confident that God's hand is guiding you. He will never abandon you, and He will always provide for you. Remember, as Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Even in the midst of uncertainty, God's plans for you remain steadfast, and He is always working things together for your good. So take this time of stillness as a gift, knowing that God is positioning you for something greater. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. The divine lockdown is not a setback, but a strategic pause that is refining you for the purpose that God has set before you. Trust in His perfect timing and continue to walk in faith, knowing that the breakthrough is coming, and it will be far greater than you could ever imagine. Chosen one, the journey you are walking is not an easy one. The battles you face, both within and around you, can often feel overwhelming. Even though you may know, deep within your heart, that God is in control, there are times when fear and panic take hold. It's in these moments that you may question if you are strong enough to continue, or if the weight of your purpose is too much to bear. But hear this clearly: fear and panic are not signs of weakness or a lack of faith. They are simply natural reactions to uncertainty, and they are a part of the process. The fact that you are aware of the weight of time and the significance of your calling shows that you understand the gravity of the season you are in. It is the awareness of this responsibility that stirs up fear. But fear, when placed in the hands of God, can be used as a tool for your spiritual growth. The Apostle Paul writes in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." In those moments when panic begins to overwhelm you, remember that God has not given you a spirit of fear. Rather, He has equipped you with the power to face the storm, the love to endure, and the self-control to remain still in the midst of chaos. The panic you feel is not a sign that you are unfit for your calling, but it is an opportunity to practice the very power and self-control that God has given you. Your spiritual muscles are growing even in this discomfort, and God is working within you to develop your strength. In this season of stillness, there is a crucial opportunity for you to deepen your trust in God. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." The act of stillness is not a sign of passivity, but an intentional surrender to God's timing and His plan. The world may urge you to rush, to act, to make decisions quickly, but God calls you to wait and trust. In the stillness, you will hear His voice more clearly. In the quiet, His divine will become more evident to you. You are not abandoned in this season of pause. You are being prepared. God is using this time to guide you to the next step with clarity, strength, and peace. The world may push for immediate results, but the stillness of God is a safe haven where His purpose is revealed in perfect timing. Fear often comes from the unknown, from what lies ahead that is beyond our control. But understand this: God has already prepared a path for you, and He is not waiting for you to act out of panic. He is waiting for you to walk with Him, step by step, trusting in His divine guidance. Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. As you walk in stillness, remember that you are never alone. God is with you, holding your hand, and His strength is what will carry you through. When the fear and panic rise up, it can be easy to act out of haste, to rush into decisions because you fear that time is running out. But God's timing is perfect, and He does not need you to rush or force anything. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord." The act of waiting is not passive. It is an active choice to trust in God's plan and to rest in His sovereignty. You are learning to let go of your own plans and allowing God to lead you into the future He has for you. God is not asking you to have everything figured out right now. He is asking you to trust Him with what you cannot see and to walk in obedience, even when you feel unsure. This season is about learning to be faithful in the stillness, to find peace in the quiet moments, and to trust that God is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see the full picture. The fear you are feeling is not something to fight against. It is something to surrender to God, knowing that He will guide you through it. He is with you every step of the way. The chosen one, know that this season of stillness is an essential part of your spiritual growth. God is using this time to plant you deep into the soil of faith. Just as a tree's roots grow deeper when it faces storms and challenges, your roots in God's truth and love are being anchored. These moments of waiting and trusting are shaping you into someone who can withstand whatever comes your way. You are being prepared for something far greater than you can imagine, and the work being done in you now will bear fruit for generations to come. The temptation to act in fear and panic is real, but God is inviting you to rise above it. He's inviting you to trust in His timing and to know that everything that is happening is part of His perfect plan. You are not falling behind. You are exactly where you need to be. This stillness is a divine act of protection, guiding you toward your purpose with precision and care. As you wait, you are being refined. As you trust, you are being equipped. Isaiah 40:31 promises, "But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." As you wait in trust, God is renewing your strength, preparing you for the work He has called you to do. The fear and panic will subside as you lean into His presence and let His peace fill you. This is the season of trust, and as you embrace it, you will find the peace that surpasses all understanding, guarding your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. So, chosen one, embrace this stillness. Trust in God's perfect timing and know that He is working all things for your good. Do not rush. Do not panic. In the stillness, He will speak, and in His time, you will see His promises fulfilled. Chosen one, as you enter this new season, understand that what you are experiencing is not a delay or a punishment. It is a divine preparation, a sacred waiting that will lead to a season of restoration. The trials and challenges you faced are not for nothing. God is setting you up for something far greater than what you've lost. This time of stillness is not wasted. It is the precursor to a powerful outpouring of blessings. In this moment, God is showing you a glimpse of what is to come, a divine restoration that will exceed all that you've endured. The concept of shalom, the divine overpayment, is a promise of God's abundant restoration. In Joel 2:25, God promises, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." This is not just about getting back what you've lost. It's about God giving you more, blessing you in ways that will surpass your wildest expectations. The enemy may have stolen from you, but God, in His divine overpayment, will give back more than what was taken. Your losses will be replaced by blessings that go beyond what you could have imagined. God is in the business of restoration, and He is about to pour out His goodness into your life in a way that will leave you in awe. This new season is one of divine alignment. You will walk into a new timeline where opportunities will align perfectly with your true purpose. It will no longer feel like you're stumbling in the dark, struggling to find your way. As you embrace God's perfect plan, He is reprogramming your life to align with the divine blueprint He has set for you. Just as He told Jeremiah in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." He is now revealing to you that His plans are greater than you could have imagined. The time you've spent waiting, the silence you've experienced, has been preparing you to step into a future full of purpose and divine alignment. As you move forward, trust in God's timing and His protection. You've been spiritually shielded, not from harm, but from distractions and detours that would have taken you off course. God has been guarding not only your physical safety, but also your inner peace and spiritual growth. This divine lockdown, as difficult as it may have seemed, has been a time of refining. In this stillness, God has been working on your heart, mind, and spirit, preparing you to carry the weight of the blessings that are coming. Psalm 91:4 assures you, "He will cover you with His pinions, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler." In this moment of waiting, you are being shielded and protected, just as a mother bird shields her young under her wings. The season of restoration is not just about receiving blessings, it's about the transformation that comes with them. As you move forward, you will notice that your perspective has shifted. What once seemed like a struggle is now a testimony of God's faithfulness. What once seemed like a loss will become the foundation of your strength. The obstacles you've overcome have prepared you to carry the blessings God is about to release into your life. As God restores what was lost, He will also increase your capacity to handle the abundance He is sending your way. The waiting has been a time of testing, but it has also been a time of strengthening. God has been teaching you how to stand firm, how to trust in His timing, and how to rely on His strength. This season of silence and stillness was not about punishment, but about preparation. In Isaiah 40:31, God promises, "But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." As you have waited, God has been renewing your strength, preparing you to soar into the next phase of your purpose with greater power, clarity, and resilience. Now, as you step into this new season, you will walk with a renewed sense of purpose. The things that once distracted you, the relationships that once drained you, and the situations that once held you back will no longer have the same power over you. You will see clearly, act decisively, and move with confidence in the direction God is leading you. The doors that were once closed to you will now open effortlessly, and the relationships that were meant for you will be restored to their rightful place. This season of divine restoration will not only bring you what you lost, but will also elevate you to new heights in your calling. The divine protection you've experienced during this time of waiting has been a shield, ensuring that you were not led astray. God has guarded your heart, your mind, and your spirit, even when you did not understand the reasons for the silence or stillness. As you move forward, you will walk into a season of abundance and peace, where every step will be guided by His hand. Your purpose will become clearer, your vision sharper, and your capacity to receive the blessings God has for you will expand. In this season, it is essential that you continue to trust in God's plan, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." You may not see every step ahead, but trust that God has already paved the way for you. As you walk in faith, He will make the path straight, and you will see the fulfillment of every promise He has made to you. So, chosen one, take heart. Your season of restoration is here, and it is more than just a return of what was lost. It is a divine elevation, that will position you for a future full of purpose, peace, and divine favor. This is your time to step into everything God has prepared for you. Know that He is with you, guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. Trust in His timing, embrace the abundance He is sending, and walk confidently in the path He has set before you. The waiting is over, and the restoration has begun. Chosen one, you are not abandoned. Instead, you are undergoing a divine process of elevation and protection. This season of stillness is not a sign of neglect, but a setup for a greater blessing that is about to unfold in your life. Every moment of waiting, silence, and hardship has served a purpose. You have been shaped, refined, and prepared by God's hand for what is to come. As this season of stillness draws to a close, you are about to step into the season of Shalom, a divine overpayment. In this season, God will restore not just what was lost, but He will bless you abundantly beyond what you can imagine. This divine timing is setting you up for lasting success, peace, and fulfillment, perfectly aligned with your divine purpose. Trust the process, knowing that God is working behind the scenes to align your next steps with His will. Every delay, every quiet moment, and every challenge faced has been part of the journey. Now you are walking in God's purpose, and the best is yet to come. Continue forward in faith, trusting that your future is bright and the blessings that await you are beyond measure.